Hello students, welcome to Vidya Myriad. This video is made for class 9 on chapter number 14 statistics, and today we are going to begin with exercise 14.1 from Ncert. Now before we begin with the exercise, there are certain things which you need to know, that is what is primary data and what is secondary data. Now if we want to know about primary data, it is basically your first hand information that you are deriving from for your some specific purpose. It is not at all available anywhere. So you are collecting that information for the first time. And how can you collect this information? By way of questionnaires, by way of surveys, case studies, interviews, and many other ways. So these are the ways from where you can collect your first hand information. This method is usually considered as expensive in terms of money as well as in time. Now if we want to ask about what is secondary data, so the opposite of primary data is secondary data. That means secondary data is your second hand information or which is already existing. That means you can see certain information in the newspapers, books, journals, websites, reports. You can collect that information there because it is already published, it is already there. So we can say that it is available in a finished form, and thus it consumes less time and money and is thus considered as economical. So what is difference between primary data and secondary data? Primary data is the first hand information and secondary data is your second hand information. Primary data is collected for the first time for some specific purpose and is collected through questionnaires or surveys or interviews, whereas secondary data it is mostly collected through government publications or newspapers or websites or reports. Your primary data is expensive in terms of money and time, whereas secondary data is economical. So based on this, we will start with the exercise. Question number 1. Give 5 examples of data that you collect from your day-to-day life. Now there are n number of examples. You can choose any and you can write off your own also. So the kind of examples I have taken is as under. Number 1. Weight of girl students in primary classes. Number 2. Height of boys who participated for basketball inter-school competition taken from the sports department. Number 3. Number of plants in our apartments in each house collected by questionnaire method. Number of students appeared for NEET from different states collected from newspaper. Number of commerce teachers in all the schools in a state obtained from the education department. So there are 5 examples which is taken from day-to-day life. You can choose any of yours. Question number 2 is based on question number 1. We have to now differentiate between which one is primary data and which one is secondary data. The meaning of primary and secondary I have already explained, so that we will work out as under. Number 1, weight of the girl students in primary classes. It will be your first hand information. So this is a primary data. Height of the boys who participated for basketball inter-school competition taken from sports department. So its information is already there, is a second hand information. It is a secondary data. Number 3. Number of plants in our apartments in each house collected by questionnaire method. So we are doing some survey. We have given a questionnaire. So it is a first hand information. So it is taken as a primary data. 4th. Number of students appeared for NEET from different states collected from the newspaper. So this information is already there in the newspaper. We are collecting it from there. It is a second hand information. So it is a secondary data. Number of commerce teachers in all the schools in a state obtained from the education department. Now this is again a secondary data as we are taking information from the education department which is already there. So like this we can distinguish between which one is primary and which one is secondary data. With this we finish this exercise 14.1. There was nothing much in it, only you should know between what is difference between primary data and secondary data. Very soon I am going to come with exercise 14.2. Please do lots of practice, look around and see the examples, which one you can distinguish between primary and secondary. Take care children.